Hey everyone, welcome to episode 56. On today's episode, we are going to learn how to thread your Class 20 sewing machine and also how to properly wind and load up a bobbin. So let's take a look.
Start by putting the thread on the thread stand and make sure that the thread comes off the spool freely. Insert the thread from the rear to the front on the thread stand guide hole. Pass the thread through the flat thread guide. Now pass through the bottom hole on the next thread guide. Continue between the small tension discs and proceed downward. Now go under the top pin, counterclockwise between the second set of tension discs, and then over the bottom pin. Proceeding downward, guide the thread through the bottom of the secondary tension device, and by pulling upward, the thread will click in and will add tension. Insert the thread into the large thread guide and then around into the small thread guide. Now up to the take-up lever, thread it from right to left using the bottom hole. The thread now travels downward through the large thread guide and then through a small thread guide. As you continue downward, there is a third thread guide followed by a spring-loaded clip. Next, the thread needs to go through the needle bar, which has a small hole, and finally we have to thread the needle. You thread the needle from left to right, and then guide the thread under the center foot.
Hey everyone, so the Cobra Class 20 and the Cobra Class 20-2 now has two ways to wind up a bobbin. There is the first original method, which is the table-mounted bobbin winder, and now through some advancements and manufacturing process, the actual machine itself does have a built-in bobbin winder on the top of the head of the machine, which is pretty fantastic. So the following videos show you both methods to wind up your bobbins and to load them in properly.
To wind up a bobbin, put your bobbin thread cone on the thread stand, then make sure that the thread comes off the cone freely. Insert the thread through the thread stand guide hole from back to front. On the bobbin winder, go through the thread guide hole and then pull the thread in between the tension discs. It goes around and then the thread goes back out through the guide hole. On your U-style bobbin, the thread goes through one of the holes from inside to outside. Go ahead and insert the bobbin onto the bobbin winder. Just a reminder, don't forget to remove the thread from your needle before winding up any bobbins. Push the winder lever forward to engage the wheel with the rubber belt. Hold the thread and press the foot pedal to begin the winding process. After winding for a bit, you can trim the end piece and then continue winding up the bobbin until it stops automatically. For the machine-mounted bobbin winder, there are two parts: the tension discs with the tension knob and the actual bobbin winder. Alright, start by threading the bobbin thread through the guide hole, go around clockwise and in between the tension discs. Finally, go through the last guide hole. Thread your bobbin from inside to outside and place face down onto the winder. Push the lever in towards the bobbin and trim the thread tail. Push the foot pedal to wind up the bobbin until it stops, and let's go add it to your machine. Slide open the side plate and lift up the arm on the hook. It is very important that the thread comes off the bobbin counterclockwise. Load the bobbin into the hook basket and the thread will slide along the edge and then through a slot. Once through the slot, pull the thread all the way to the left and the thread goes around the hook basket and now to the right. Flip down the arm and the thread should be in the designated slot hole. Rotate the hand wheel and the needle with the top thread will begin to bring the bobbin thread up through the feed dog. All right, now close the side plate and you are ready to sew.
Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoy this content. Take care and good luck on your future projects. See you next week's episode. Bye-bye.